Why were you living with two Wangs in your farmhouse? We are here with Ric, co-founder and CEO of 100% Pure. Ric, thanks for joining Getting Global.
Thank you, Josh. Pleasure.
When did you start your company and how?
Started a little over 10 years ago, and I have two co-founders, Susie Wang, James Wang, and we just started out of our farmhouse in Napa, California, making the skincare, making the bath and body products, and later color cosmetics ourselves.
When did you start to say, all right, let's be proactive about this?
For China, I was always looking, how do you do it? I didn't know how to do it. That's the most confusing thing about the China market. It's like, how do you tap that market? What do? I couldn't figure it out for the longest time until, all of a sudden I saw, how do I get on Tmall? And then just contacting Tmall, applying for Tmall, and eventually Tmall Global, I got in.
What's Tmall Global versus Tmall that you were contacting?
So Tmall Global is cross-border, so they'll ship the product across the border straight to the person's home. So our warehouse originally was Portland at first to keep costs low, and then we moved from Portland to Hong Kong. So right now it's Hong Kong, and soon it will be Hong Kong and a trade zone in China where we keep the product, and then that product ships direct to someone's home.
What are the things you need to be thinking about if you're investigating going into China?
If you're thinking about going in China, don't think too much. Just do it, because you'll try to talk yourself out of it. Yeah. Like anything in business, you just take the leap. And to make that decision, I said, how big is this going to grow? And I said, this is going to rival our U.S. business. In fact, it's not even going to rival; it's going to outgrow our U.S. business, because 600 million middle class in China in 10 years is much bigger than the population of the U.S. alone.
You built out your Tmall site yourself?
My China team did it.
How did you find the China employees?
I read something and I followed it. It said, you need one person you can trust in China, because it's very tricky doing business in China. And I chose a city, Tianjin. The cost is lower than Beijing and Shanghai. Posted for a general manager, and I went out there and I did in-person interviews, and I met a very humble yet accomplished general manager, person that I can hire. And I met his family, I met his wife, I knew where he lives, I kind of knew about him.
Know where they live.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I let him hire the rest of the team.
Okay.
So he built up a team of 9 other employees that can manage the Tmall Global business.
I want to trust you enough to use some of your products.
I have something here. So this is one of our star products. This is our coffee bean eye cream.
Is there caffeine in here?
There is caffeine in there.
Because I actually don't drink any caffeine, but it'll keep me like wired.
So what's funny is that people will use the product, and we get calls to our customer service saying, I wasn't able to sleep all night because I was using this product. But the caffeine it's not that much caffeine is going to get in your bloodstream and keep you awake. It's all psychological.
Let me try some of this here.
Yeah.
So
just put it on the under eye, and that's a lot of product.
So this is going to keep me up really late.
Yeah, you want to rub gently and tap it around. That's how you do it, and you let it sit on there, and ideally you want to rub it in.
It sits. Why is caffeine or even coffee bean good for my skin? It said
antioxidants, it protects you against pollution. You need it.
But you're never going to animal test or do local CFDA equivalent?
We will never animal test.
If you had to test on an animal, what animal would you test on?
Humans.
Yeah.